Welcome back. 5 years ago, our next guest almost lost his life due to a severe health crisis, which is an experience catalyzing his mission to empower individuals with access to their heart data. Through Sparrow Bioacoustics, his team is on the brink of launching version 2 of the FDA-approved Stethoscope, which is a revolutionary software transforming smartphones into advanced stethoscopes. Joining us now is the CEO of Sparrow Bioacoustics, Mark Opauszky. Mark, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, Brittany. Thanks. It's great to be here.
So to start off, can you just share with us what initially sparked your interest in cardiac diseases and led you to become so deeply involved in this field?
Well, I mean, almost all of us at the company have been touched by serious disease in some way or another. Cardiovascular disease is the world's #1 killer. Some suggest that up to 100 million people in the U.S. may have some form of heart disease. And so it's really not getting any better. These diseases progress slowly and quietly, and so early detection and faster treatment is critical. We want to give people a way to participate more proactively in their own health care, and we want to be able to do it at scale.
Absolutely. And I know you have a personal journey with health challenges, including a near-death experience, which has kind of led to this entire creation of this product. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, a few of us at the company have had have had a few life-altering diseases, and that sort of brought us to the mission. My story was almost exactly 5 years ago. I became suddenly ill with a very rare disease that put me on life support at Mount Sinai West Hospital in Manhattan, and gave me cascading organ failure. I was in a coma for several weeks, and when I awoke, my body was quite severely damaged. I had to learn how to do everything again, from sit up to walk to swallow, and it changed my life. And so one of the things during recovery that I learned was, the more you involve yourself in your own recovery, the more you become part of your own recovery team, the more that you pay attention, you self-advocate, you have agency, the better outcomes you have. And I'm very grateful that, I recovered about as well as somebody can, and that I get to continue to work and I get to continue to do something important.
Thank you for sharing that. I think it's important to kind of note what you went through. You're now here kind of paying it forward and going full circle with the process. So with that, I do want to congratulate you on the recent launch of the Stethoscope Volume 2. So can you provide our viewers with an overview of what the Stethoscope is and how it works?
Sure. As you mentioned earlier, it's an FDA-cleared application. It is the first application of its kind to be cleared by the FDA. The stethoscopes and the act of listening to your heart are synonymous with, good proactive care, and we want to make that available everywhere, at home, at work, when you're on vacation, because symptoms and concerns don't always present when you happen to be in front of the doctor. So our main goal was to make it as convenient as possible. So there's nothing new to attach or connect or charge. It's just software. You literally take your phone, hold it to your chest, and the software listens to your heart and makes medical quality recordings, and then creates visualizations and outputs to help your doctor assess if there's anything abnormal in those chest sounds.
I think that is just such a telling sign of how far we've traveled with technology, that now we're able to do these things and we don't have to wait. And I like that you mentioned that, sometimes you could be feeling symptoms at home, then when you actually show up to the doctor and it's like, it's not there all of a sudden. Then you leave and it comes back and it's like, but wait, it wasn't there when I needed it to be there. So I think this is a great idea. And so tell me a little bit about how the Stethoscope differs from traditional stethoscopes, and what advantages does it offer in terms of monitoring heart health?
Well, I mean, the most important thing, I think, is that it's a device that is always with you, and it's focused on a very important disease, a disease that affects, almost a third of the world at one point or another in their lives. The main issue is that it's just software. You already have a relationship with your phone. It's already with you most of the time. We'd use it for all kinds of things, from banking to shopping. And now we wanted to make it so that you could do something to really help yourself with your phone. The device has special audio filters. The software makes the sound better, clearer, focuses on the actual low frequency cardiac sounds that are often very, very hard for doctors to hear, and it improves them. It also digitizes all of the information and makes it machine readable. We then create outputs that allow for doctors to visualize the sound rather than just hear it. Importantly, you can make your own recordings and you can assign them to certain symptoms you might be feeling that day, and you can create a profile of yourself over time. So that if you are concerned, or if you're on certain medications, or if you have a family history, you can build your own profile of very deep, rich cardiac data and use that to get better, faster care.
I think it's amazing to kind of have all this information right here at your fingertips. And with that, I want to ask you, from your perspective, why is it so crucial for individuals to have easy access to their heart data? And how can tools like the Stethafone empower patients to take control of their own health?
I think one of the most critical things is to realize that a lot of these diseases, particularly cardiac disease, progress slowly and often go undetected. The numbers are staggering. There are groups of people that often are considered in a low risk area. For instance, one of the greatest areas of underdiagnosis and undertreatment is for women. In many cases, women's heart disease presents a little bit differently than men's. It can be fatigue, it can be swelling, it can be shoulder pain, it can be a number of other things. We suggest that people go check this stuff out for themselves. But we wanted to give people a way to sort of say, look, I'm worried. I want to be able to bring real medical data. When I go and I seek some assistance or I seek some consultation, I want there to be some reason why people are going to look at my information a little bit differently and in a way that I can participate in my own healthcare. So that kind of agency, when you bring real medical information with you, when you can enhance the dialogue with your doctors or with your care team, does lead to better outcomes. I'm quite sure of this.
I think that's so important, especially when we're coming out of COVID, or not coming out of, because people are still getting COVID every day. But I think it's
Yes.
important to kind of have that there when people are developing long COVID and they're developing all these symptoms, that they don't always have the time to kind of run to the doctor and check it out themselves, that they kind of have these tools now at their fingertips to be able to take matters into their own hands when they're not, able to go. So with that, Mark, I think this is an amazing invention, and I want to thank you for speaking with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
For more information, you can visit the website at stethafone.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Open right after this.